In a quiet village surrounded by rolling hills and whispering trees, there lived a young couple whose love was as strong as the roots of the ancient oaks. James and Eliza met one fateful spring day at the village market, where James had come to sell his family's harvest, and Eliza had accompanied her mother to buy fresh herbs. Their eyes met, and in that moment, both knew they were destined for each other. Months passed, and their bond grew deeper. James, a farmer with a heart full of dreams, proposed to Eliza under a canopy of stars. Overjoyed, she accepted, and soon, the whole village buzzed with excitement for their wedding. On a crisp autumn morning, the couple stood before the altar in the village church, hand in hand, surrounded by family and friends. The priest spoke of love and unity, declaring them husband and wife. As the bells rang out, their hearts brimmed with hope and joy for the life they would build together. Their early days of marriage were filled with laughter and warmth. Eliza would hum sweet melodies as she tended to the home, while James worked tirelessly in the fields, dreaming of the family they would one day raise. Yet, as the years passed, their dreams of having a child seemed elusive. Each time Eliza became pregnant, their joy was short-lived, as tragedy struck again and again. Grief settled over their home like a heavy fog, and despair threatened to pull them apart. In their sorrow, James and Eliza turned to their faith. They began visiting Pastor Nathaniel, a kind and wise man who had guided many in the village through life's trials. Every evening, they knelt in prayer, seeking comfort and answers. "God has a plan," Pastor Nathaniel would reassure them. "Do not lose hope. Keep your faith strong, and His blessings will come in due time." Despite their anguish, the couple's love for each other remained unwavering. They found solace in their shared prayers, in the whispered words of encouragement, and in the small joys of daily life. Yet, the ache for a child persisted. One day, an elder from a nearby village, known for his deep spiritual insight, visited their church. Hearing of James and Eliza's struggles, he offered to pray for them. His prayers were heartfelt and fervent, and his words carried a quiet authority that filled the couple with renewed hope. "The Lord works in mysterious ways," the elder said, "but He hears the cries of those who trust in Him. Continue to believe, and He will answer in His time." Not long after, Eliza discovered she was with child once more. This time, she felt a quiet but profound sense of peace, as though the prayers of the elder had shielded her and the life growing within her. James, though cautious, clung to hope, his heart swelling with gratitude each day Eliza's pregnancy progressed. Months later, on a clear spring morning, their son was born. He was a robust boy with a full head of hair and, astonishingly, a small, soft beard that made the midwives gasp in surprise. As the days turned to weeks, the boy's beard grew, much to the wonder of the villagers. They marveled at the child, believing him to be touched by a divine blessing. James and Eliza, now parents at last, named him Samuel, which means God has heard. Samuel grew into a lively and kind-hearted boy, his unusual beard setting him apart, but never overshadowing his spirit. James and Eliza often reflected on their journey, their faith, and the miracle of their son. They knew that Samuel's story was a testament to the power of love, prayer, and unwavering belief. As Samuel's beard continued to grow, word of the boy with the miraculous beard spread far and wide. Villagers from near and far came in droves, eager to catch a glimpse of the child they had heard so much about. They gathered outside James and Eliza's modest home, craning their necks and whispering in awe. "Have you ever seen anything like it?" one villager exclaimed, peering through the window. "A boy with a beard. Surely, he is a sign from above." But not all came in wonder. Some arrived out of curiosity, others with disbelief, and a few with mockery in their hearts. They laughed openly, pointing fingers at the young couple who stood protectively by their son. James and Eliza, once filled with pride at their miraculous child, now felt the sting of humiliation. The laughter and whispers pierced their hearts, and anger began to simmer within them. How dare they mock what they do not understand? James muttered, his fists clenched. Eliza, holding Samuel close, fought back tears, her face a mixture of shame and defiance. "They don't see the blessing that he is," Eliza whispered to her husband. "All they see is what's different, what they can't explain." The villagers' laughter grew louder, and James finally stepped forward, his voice firm. "This is our son, a gift from God. Mock us if you wish, but know this: he is loved beyond measure." The crowd quieted at his words, though the smirks and whispered jests did not completely fade. James and Eliza retreated inside, vowing to shield Samuel from the cruelty of those who could not see beyond his unusual appearance. As the days passed, the villagers' fascination waned, but Samuel remained a symbol of wonder and faith to his parents. Despite the ridicule, James and Eliza found strength in each other and in their unwavering love for their son. They resolved to raise Samuel with pride, teaching him that his uniqueness was not something to hide, but a testament to the miraculous nature of life itself. However, as the months turned into years, Samuel's beard continued to grow at an astonishing rate. Inch by inch, it lengthened until, by the time he was 6 years old, it touched his legs. James and Eliza grew increasingly worried. Though they tried to remain calm, fear gnawed at them. They began to wonder if this miraculous feature was becoming a burden. Determined to find a solution, the couple sought the wisdom of the elders in their village and beyond. They visited one elder after another, carrying Samuel along with them. Each elder examined the boy, stroked his ever-growing beard, and offered advice. Some suggested special oils to slow the growth. Others recommended rituals and prayers. But no matter what they tried, Samuel's beard continued to grow unhindered. Frustrated but not ready to give up, James and Eliza decided to visit the herbalist who lived deep within the forest. The journey was long and arduous, but their hope spurred them onward. The herbalist, an old woman with eyes as sharp as a hawk's, examined Samuel carefully. She prepared potions and poultices, instructing James and Eliza to apply them daily. Weeks passed, but there was no change. Samuel's beard remained as unyielding as ever. The couple returned home, disheartened but determined to keep searching for answers. They knew that somewhere, somehow, there must be a reason for their son's extraordinary condition, and perhaps even a solution. But the days turned into weeks, and Samuel's beard grew even longer, now brushing the ground as he walked. The villagers, once curious, began to avoid James and Eliza, whispering among themselves that the boy's condition might be a curse. "Perhaps it is the sins of the parents," some speculated, casting judgmental glances. The shame and isolation weighed heavily on James and Eliza. Yet they refused to give up. Every night, they knelt in prayer, pleading with God for guidance. "We have trusted in you," James whispered fervently. "Please show us the way." In their desperation, they decided to take Samuel to the church once more. They believed that perhaps the house of God, where their journey of faith had begun, might hold the answers they sought. On a rainy morning, they wrapped Samuel in a cloak and made their way to the church. Pastor Nathaniel welcomed them with open arms, his face kind but weary. "We need a miracle," Eliza said, her voice breaking. "Please pray for our son." The pastor gathered the congregation, and together they prayed fervently, their voices rising in a chorus of hope. But as the days passed, there were no changes. Samuel's beard continued to grow, and the family's despair deepened. James and Eliza sat in their small home one evening, the weight of their struggles pressing down on them. "What more can we do?" James asked, his voice heavy with defeat. Eliza, tears streaming down her face, clung to her son. "We will not give up," she whispered. "We cannot. God has brought us this far. He must have a plan." Yet, despite their faith, the couple felt the edges of desperation creeping in, their hope wavering as they faced the unknown future.